I've got here, and it's time to talk about Gachiakuta. But before we get into that, I'm sorry if I'm sounding weird. I've been dealing with some health issues. I have a throat infection, so I've slowly been losing my voice since Monday. It's gotten a bit better, but I still sound weird and it hurts to breathe and so on. But whatever, it's getting better, so that's why I sound really weird. So I apologize for that. But this episode here, man, Zanka's backstory is full of mediocrity. It plays into a theme now that it's mid. I'm actually liking him more and more as this keeps going, and Jabbar is a piece of shit, but I'm liking him more and more the same as long as the series keeps going like this. This was such a fun episode, and they had me towards the end there with that LSD trip that Zanka was under. So let's get into this episode and talk about it. Now, picks up from last week, at least in a way, because first we get a flashback of Zanka's backstory, history, family, and a lot of world building into this. He's part of this Nijiku clan, and there's some higher ups in this Hellguard or this major city. Is not fully explained what this city is, but like they're kind of like an extremist group. They kind of want to control people and also be against givers. Like they're training kids as soldiers from the ground up here, and we see them even saying keep humans in line, the Hellguard Academy, training them to become Hellguards, and Zanka is a noble there, and everybody is competing as kids in this academy to get that golden chair, the top of the class, and even him having to deal with that pressure, but also the pressure of being nobility, the pressure of being the best one, the pressure from his family, probably his father that we saw. There's a lot of things to be the best here, and even the pressure that he puts on himself, and he definitely works hard for it. But also like how internally he was a bit smug when he went in class and went like this, and that grin he had on his face there was great here. So I'm liking this. I hope they expand a bit more with the world building here. But we also find out that girl we saw in the flashback, that moment last episode, Hyo, this new student girl that apparently the higher ups from the school brought in because she's really talented here. She's not a noble, she grew up in the slum, but they saw her talent. She's really good at fighting. She kind of beats everybody in the school there. She has a big effect on Zanka, but I really like more about her bluntness, and we're gonna get to that, because after everybody loses against her and Zanka losing against Hyo, the other students started making excuses. Oh, I wasn't feeling well this day, she just had a weird style, it didn't match up with me, and so on. Just excuses. I just lost because of lag, basically, the gamer excuse here. And Zanka just puts on a facade here. It's fine, I just needed more training when talking to the other students. But I really like him taking a step away and actually showing his frustration, like to an extreme point. Like it really frustrated him. He actually was biting his lips, veins were about to pop out of his head, and even smacking his head against the wall there, and he gets seen by Hyo here. What I really liked was the conversation here. Him is like, I just want this golden throne, everybody's striving for it. He's kind of grew up with this, even the pressure, like I said at the start, everybody put on him, himself put on that. They're kind of like in indoctrination, I see it, what they're doing here at the Hellguard Academy. But what I liked from her is like, what? What's this golden throne? What do you actually get if you sit on it? And Zanka, it kind of broke Zanka. From that moment, I think it broke him completely, and she dug deeper, saying, do you just want people to find you impressive? She kind of saw straight through him, like, what does it matter what others think, what they do? What if you get the golden throne? The fuck? What's the purpose for it? What do you even get from it here? And I like how much she broke him down just from that. And you see her effects even around the school, affecting every other student, some copying her, some trying to steal her skills and so on. And Zanka himself got more and more of a complex about seeing himself as mediocre and her as somebody actually strong here. And when they had that test to pick a weapon there that looks strong to you, which one jumps at you and so on, I, were they actually trying to train them as a as givers? They feel like they're the anti-giver faction in a way, or was just a test to see how they are. But what I liked what happened, the weapon that Zanka chose, they're picking a weapon that suits him, and him getting that complex pride, but in reverse effect getting the complex of seeing himself lower than everybody else, like the biggest poser, considering his attitude when the episode started. Right now he's really into his feelings. He got really depressed, really frustrated there, and we see him, the aftermath of him picking that weapon. His eyes goes to the stick, the staff he has now, but he fucked up badly because the weapon he chose was just in there by mistake. Everybody looked at him in disgust there. It just happened to be around it. They messed up when they were edging the weapons, and he chose just a random stick. That wasn't even a weapon. It wasn't even the cliche like the weakest, worst looking thing is somehow the strongest thing. And I like that they actually called out that cliche that I was expecting to happen. And yeah, he got even more depressed. He found the hole and dug himself into it, into an actual well. He wasn't even eating, drinking anything, and randomly Engine and Rio were traveling. They found him, and I like how Engine started eating food here, and he tells them what happened, how he chose that wooden staff being just a random stick, Hyo choosing a katana, and the effect, everything that had here. And Zanka crashes out, like fully blown meltdown, so to say, into himself, saying he thought he was the best, but he turned out he was the weakest. Of course, he puts way too much pressure on himself, how he views the world and how he views himself. I can relate to that a bit when I make mistakes, honestly. I'm just way too harsh on myself. Even in games and things like that, I fuck up something and like, it actually gets to me so much when I make mistakes myself. It's not about teammates and so on. If you play team games, when I make mistakes, it definitely gets to me. Maybe even not to a healthy level, but Zanka here, and I liked his conversation with Engine. We see the beginning of why he probably admires Engine so much. And it's obvious things, but when you're in that headspace, you don't really think about it. And Engine just says, can't somebody mediocre still get better than somebody with natural talent? Of course, I'm paraphrasing a bit, and kind of like clicked into Zanka's head a bit here, and telling him, hey, Engine telling him, you somehow still haven't given up, you're still holding onto that stick. Somebody else would have thrown it. And while Zanka has this complex about himself, he definitely has the willpower to push. We even saw him at the start. He was smug, he was a noble, somebody that had a lot more opportunities maybe, but he worked his ass off also, and I really liked that here. And telling him, hey, we're gonna be back at some point, and I want you to show us, prove it to us, and actually helps him to get out of that depression a bit here. I'm curious if next episode is also gonna expand that a bit more, and he wants to keep going. And here is where they had me. I'm like, okay, this is the moment, right? We're gonna get into the fight. We're gonna have that shock to the system that Zoldil kept talking about. And last, I forgot to mention, I really forgot about the enchantment from the painter here, surviving one fatal injury last episode. I really forgot about that. Again, like I said, I've been sick, so I apologize about that, but I still don't believe Zanka is going to die. Even after this one, even after what happened, the enchantment is probably gonna save him from the stab. But back into the fight, like I said, they really had me. I was like, okay, he woke up, we see Zanka waking up, still bleeding, just let me show what mediocrity can do. And damn, it's about to go down. What power up is gonna get? How is that going to affect him? In just that short moment. But no, he was actually having one of the most unhinged trips. He was fully hallucinating, and they got me. Like, damn, okay. And after this, I really liked the episode even a lot more, thanks to Jabber also. Zanka was fully hallucinating a lot, and Jabber was just dancing. Started laughing, and after that he realized his ribs hurt. But Jabber is a complete piece of shit, don't get me wrong. But he's a great character here. And Zanka suddenly started laughing maniacally, like full unhinged laughing there. And Jabber like, dude, he just plays like, hey, don't leave me out. He joins him, lays down on the ground and starts laughing also. Because why not? He just wanted to be part. I think Jabber just wants friends. He's very lonely probably. I'm sorry, my voice is trying to laugh and talk a bit more, but I'm straining a bit my voice there. But yeah, that moment with Jabber was awesome here. And after this, is also ties into what happened, or what probably is going to happen with Zanka. We see Guita lost. She was looking for people, just playing with her Rochi there, and she finds that giant nest, egg, cocoon, I don't even know what to call it, and it's metal as fuck, like those severed hands, weapons inside there. It looked creepy but also cool at the same time, and I have a feeling that's probably how they make trash beasts in a way, or how they control them, or whatever the raiders are doing with that here. But even more, because Jabber says, hey, we've had our fun, and starts dragging Zanka, saying it's time to offer you to the trash beast, and probably heading to the same spot. So yeah, cool episode here. I'm liking Zanka's backstory, personality here. I hope we find out what happened with that girl, because I get a feeling she's probably dead, and probably his motivation to keep going or something happened along those lines. It reminds me a bit of Zoro's backstory. I hope they expand a bit more on it. Besides, she just fell some stairs and died. I'm sorry if that's a spoiler, but I love One Piece, one of my all-time favorite series, but I even have to admit that's a bit dumb what happened to Zoro, the girl he cared about in the past year. But here with Jabber and Zanka, I'm really curious, and also the conversation I keep saying with each episode, Zodil and Rudo, we're gonna have a lot of things going for them. Really happy this series has 24 episodes, and I can't wait for the next one. So yeah, let me know in the comments below what you guys thought about this episode. What do you think about Zanka and Jabber? Let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, helps me quite a lot, and you guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. So keep enjoying Gachiakuta. I'm gonna see you again on the next one. Bye bye.